Good morning. This is a collective reading. Just checking the energy for today. Some of you guys have a lot of money coming in because as soon as I started to record, TikTok decided they wanted to attach the sound that's like, "Good morning. Your checking account balance is," and then I quickly exited out of it because that's not what I'm doing right now. But some of you guys are not going to believe the amount of money that's coming to you. For other you guys, you are trusting and walking on faith. I see, as soon as I'm saying that, okay, as soon as I'm saying that, you got the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about like being confident in yourself and okay, being by yourself, being independent, making money on your own. So that's relevant to some people. Some of y'all have gone through, we got two fives as I'm splitting the deck, which is all about changes. Five is a number of change. Initially, it sucks. It feels like, what the fuck is happening right now? But over time, it's just like revving you up for something greater. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune. It's like a turning energy, it's a turning point, it's like the peak, right? Because it's a slow build up to that, and then something feels like it's crashed down. Then moving forward, you start to build up. It's like a, a build up to a climax. I'm picturing a book. You know how in grade school we have to break down the different parts of a book and where the climax is. We have to like kind of describe like what was the climax situation in the book and then like the turning point and all that stuff. So for some of you guys, your story has been a really interesting story. And this is that climax where you've reached the turning point. Up until this point, things have seemed really hard. Um, but you are getting to a point now where you're about to start leveling up and reaching the top. I mean, as I'm picturing the cards, you get all the way up to like what feels impossible, and then you have a breakthrough. So some of you guys could have walked away from something that was not serving you emotionally. Some of you guys could have had your heart broken recently. There could have been three people in this energy. Some of you guys could have felt left out in the cold. Yeah, this Five of Pentacles is still here. You have the Emperor. Somebody could have been a narcissist, could have been um, a father figure in your life. But aside from the father figure situation, because that's not going to resonate with anybody, yeah, you got someone who's standing in their power. This could do with like your business, your work. Um, you have the Ace of Swords here, which is all about divine clarity, divine truth, starting over. Um, yeah, just judgment called on this situation. Some of you guys could have exes coming back. Some of you guys could have people just period coming back into your life. Be careful not to fall into illusions, not to get overwhelmed by too many choices. Choose what brings the most clarity for you. If you are bombarded with a bunch of choices, whatever is going to bring you to calmer waters at this time. Some of you guys could have dealt with a lot of chaos in the past, and as I'm saying that shit, the Five of Wands pops out. Literally, before I even look at it, I'm feeling like a bunch of chaos. The Five of Wands is all about competing, competition. It could be positive, but I don't feel like it is. In a positive sense, it's people like just practicing, you know, if like wrestlers are practicing, they're trying to improve their skill. It could be like that, but it also could be just like a bunch of chaos, a bunch of arguing, a bunch of foolishness, nonsense, fuckery is what I'm hearing. A bunch of that shit, you're moving away from it. Literally, the energy that I picked up. And before I even woke up, I started channeling. My alarm went off. I didn't sleep very well last night. There's a lot going on. Animals doing shit. My son doing shit. First you had the fives, and now you have the six. Hold on, let me come back to that. Yeah, so I didn't really sleep well. And then when the alarm went off, I thought to myself, and I don't even remember my full thoughts, but I was thinking it's okay. I don't really need to prove anything to anybody. I don't know why I was thinking that. Things are gonna speak for itself. Um, and I gotta get up and I gotta make this money. So for some of y'all, this is relevant. For some of you guys, you are in a space of just trusting divine and not really worried about how, what, where, why, like all the pieces to it. You just know that things are about to shift for you, and you just gonna trust things to play out the way that they're going to, because that's all you can really do. So I said you had two fives here, and you were changing. You also got the five of wands, so that was three fives actually. That's a lot of changes. If you don't know the meaning of 555, I would go look into it right now and kind of see how that applies to your life. Right now, you got two sixes. You could look into 66, but you have moving on to calmer waters, and then you have the Six of Cups, which is a really sweet energy. It's really nostalgic. It's really thinking back on like things that were good, things that were sweet and connected to your heart chakra. Um, you have these grandparents in the background. So some of you guys have some grandparents that are watching over you, that are really like guiding you through this situation, and they really have your best interests in heart, your best interest in heart as you move forward and you go through these things in life that seem kind of hard and challenging. For some of you guys, you feel very connected to your inner child at this time, or your inner child is healing. Um, and also, this could also just be you wanting to connect to somebody who makes you feel this peace. I just get like the message of peace this morning for you. It's not about like being in this chaotic energy, but it's about being in what feels good and what feels just peaceful. And I will tell you, for someone who grew up in a lot of chaos, I grew up in a lot of chaos. I grew up in a lot of arguing, a very narcissistic dynamic where, you know, I was constantly gaslit and my feelings were not valid, and didn't feel safe to like um just have an idea or make a point without having to argue that. So I always came into the situation ready to argue, ready to fight and prove my point. And as I grew and as I evolved and as I healed and I came in tune with and in alignment with other healthier people, right? I learned that I don't always need to do that, right? I learned that there's such thing as a life of peace, a life without chaos, a life where you can state your opinion and state how you feel, and come to somebody in regards to a conflict, sorry, and somebody could actually listen to you, hear your points, think about it, and say, that's fair. Um, I understand. I get where you came to that, you know, and either share like where they were at or not, but it ends with a resolve. It's not like a attack on your character just because you feel a negative emotion. Like it just doesn't need to add up to that. And we're running out of time, but um, you know, I just get that vibe. Some of you guys could have issues with one of your children, and maybe that's being resolved. But, you know, my oldest son, after some time, didn't live with me. And when he became an adult, he lived with me for a while. And I was in just a completely different space when he came. Yeah. And it was like he was so used to being around my ex, who was a narcissist, and having to fight to prove his point and stuff. And I was just kind of breaking down, you know, a life with peace exists. Like I've learned that you can live a life without having to constantly argue every day. So that's relevant to somebody, because we got the Knight of Swords right here, which is somebody impulsive and just running right in, not really using their words properly, and just saying whatever, just not really caring about how they're impacting people, just being very intrusive with their thoughts and going for it. Um, and then you have the Sun card. So this is the happiest card in the deck. Somebody could bring you happiness and you're rushing towards that. There's going to have to be a part two to this. We got the King of Swords. A truth was called, and something had to become correct or not come at all. Let's go to part two.